Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, and they all offered me a signature shoe, obviously some faster than others. And everybody knows Nike makes the best product. It just kind of takes a little bit longer. And so I grew up wanting to be a Nike athlete.
The WNBA was not doing well in 2022. So this might not have been a bad decision. This might have been a decision that they felt like they needed to make in order to continue the league.
A lot of people did not see this coming. Caitlin Clark did not just arrive as a great basketball player. She became something bigger. She became a moment. You hear her name far outside basketball circles now. People who do not watch the WNBA know who she is. People who do not collect cards are talking about her cards. People who never cared about sneakers are crying out for her shoes.
If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock.
Her impact no longer lives only on the court. It shows up in markets, in media, and in how the sport is discussed every single day. And without much noise, 2 new signs are pointing to something bigger coming up this season you wouldn't want to miss for anything. So in today's video, we are going to look at real data, real business moves, and what they say about where this is heading. Because when numbers and money start lining up, stories tend to change. If you think Caitlin Clark is changing women's sports, hit like right now and drop Clark Fever in the comments. One of the clearest signs of Caitlin Clark's reach does not come from a box score. It comes from trading cards.
It's $60 for this Caitlin Clark Chronicles card collection. It comes with a book and 8 packs, and there is a chance that you can get an exclusive autograph or a color blast. Let's see if we can get something good in here. This is an interesting product. I've never seen a book and cards together like this. It's kind of like an advent calendar. Let's start it out. Starting out with a state-of-the-art Indiana kind of card. These are going to be in her pro uniform for the most part, I believe. That's a shiny parallel. All the cards are also going to be Caitlin Clark. So, this is kind of similar to the product they did, I believe, last year, except it comes with a book. Ooh, we got a red cracked ice. Not numbered. Decent looking card. I like the shoe cards as well.
Professional Sports Authenticator, known as PSA, tracks how many sports cards are sent in to be graded each year. Grading means collectors send their cards to be checked, protected, and sealed. People only do this when a card matters, because it costs money and it takes time.
From what I can see, the main differences from last year's product is the price is a bit more and you get the book. So if you want like the coffee table book, there you go. That's the selling point for this, in my opinion, and a chance to get an auto or a color blast or numbered cards. You can get numbered cards in here. There's a red parallel Caitlin Clark right there, another shoe card and another shoe card. Not sure if that's a subset or an insert, but I do like it. And we've got a shiny Caitlin Clark parallel right there. It's looking like the parallels are 1 per pack. Here's another one right here, a shiny kind of hollow prism card. Just a hollow silver. Now we got a shiny state-of-the-art and another state-of-the-art.
In 2025, more Caitlin Clark cards were graded than any other active basketball player in the world. That includes LeBron James. That includes Stephen Curry. Clark finished with over 136,000 cards graded, a number that completely separates her from everyone else. This is not just about quantity. She also has 3 of the most graded cards across all sports. Not women's basketball, all sports. That means collectors are treating her the same way they treat the biggest stars on the planet.
The WNBA was not doing well in 2022. So this might not have been a bad decision. This might have been a decision that they felt like they needed to make in order to continue the league. In order for the league not to fold, in order for, like they said here, to supercharge the business growth, to include better marketing and more innovation. And I've actually spoken to people who are much deeper in the WNBA circle than I am. And a lot of people, they say that Kathy has done a lot of things that have actually saved the WNBA in ways. And so I know that obviously we look back and we're like, well, crap, this 16% equity stake that she sold of the league is kind of screwing the women now when you talk about.
Then there is the value. One of her rookie cards sold for about $660,000. That kind of money is usually reserved for legends. This is not normal for women's basketball, and that is the point. It shows a shift in how fans and collectors see the sport. And if collectibles already show this level of belief, the bigger question becomes this: what happens when the business world fully steps in behind her?
If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday, and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact, in just minutes. The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail price.
In August 2025, Nike made its intentions clear when Caitlin Clark was officially named a Nike signature athlete. That is not a title to trifle with. Along with it came her own logo, designed specifically around her identity. 2 interlocking C letters, simple, clean, and instantly recognizable. Logos matter in sports. They are how a player becomes more than a name. They turn into symbols. When Nike gives an athlete a logo, it is saying this person represents more than performance. They represent direction. They represent where the brand believes the future is going.
Let's get back to Nike though. I gotta ask some questions because I'm such a huge sneaker fan. You said that you're wearing the new kicks coming up this season.
Yeah.
I honestly, for everyone that doesn't know like the process that goes into like making the sneakers, like how long in advance has it been, or like when does it all start? Do they come to you with a shoe, a bunch of shoes? Do you kind of get to tweak them here and there? How is that process?
Yeah, I think it's honestly been like probably one of the coolest things I've got to do since honestly the process started at the end of my senior year when I was at Iowa, because I was deciding what shoe company I was going to go with. And I talked to Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, and they all offered me a signature shoe, obviously some faster than others. And you know, everybody knows Nike makes the best product. It just kind of takes a little bit longer. And so I grew up wanting to be a Nike athlete. Every kid does.
Nike also confirmed that Caitlin Clark's signature apparel and shoe line is set to launch in 2026. That kind of commitment is rare. Nike does not give signature shoes to many athletes. Even fewer women receive them. You only get that level of backing if the company believes you can move culture and sell at scale. We already saw early signs of demand. Caitlin Clark, player-exclusive Nike shoes, including Kobe models in fever colors, sold out almost immediately. These were not her official signature shoes yet. They were previews, and people still rushed to buy them.
It's Nike Jordan, like that's the premier brand, and everybody knows that.
You got the custom Kobe's, yeah.
Oh yeah, the custom Kobe's are fine. I sent like Harry and some of your friends some. They're like, how do we get the? I was like, I got you. But no, I mean, it's probably been like a year and a half now of like figuring out what exactly I want. And I think probably the most challenging part of it is like you want it to be unique, but at the same time, like I have to be comfortable wearing it. So I think you kind of take what you know you're comfortable in. Like obviously I play in a lot of Kobe's, but at the same time, I don't want it to be a Kobe. I want it to be something very unique to me and a little bit different. And I think for myself, like, you know, I kind of think about like what's kind of been important to me when I think about like shoes or sneakers.
This shows that brands are no longer just supporting women's sports for appearances. They are investing seriously. They are building long-term plans around stars who can carry markets. Caitlin Clark is now at the center of that change.
When you talk about a revenue split and where that money's going, but at the same time, if she wouldn't have done that, would the WNBA even be in this position that it is now? Would they have had to cut back on teams? Would they have had to sell teams in order to keep the league afloat? Like, we just don't know. Hindsight is 2020, but I kind of feel bad now because I came down hard on Kathy on multiple occasions, and I do think that there are some things that she could have done better. But after seeing all of this and being able to look back and reflect, like maybe it wasn't all bad. Like maybe it was things that you had to do for necessity for this league at that time. And that's why I talked about like the NBA's split as well.
But a signature shoe is only one step. The next signs come from a different place, the financial world. And if you are eager to know where this takes us, hit subscribe right away. When business leaders move, it often says more than loud ads. Starting from Apple CEO, Tim Cook publicly bought a large amount of Nike stock, nearly doubling his personal stake. This is unusual. Tim Cook is not known for risky or flashy investments. When he commits more money, people notice. Around the same time, Nike CEO Elliott Hill also bought Nike shares. When the person running the company puts their own money in, it signals belief. It tells the market that leadership is confident in where things are headed. But how does this connect to Caitlin Clark exactly?
And I think like just the chaseability of them, and like you want a certain sneaker or like you want a certain colorway. So I think that's like going to be probably the most fun part. Like, okay, great. Like you have like the mold of the shoe and like what it is and the technology that's in it. But more so, I think I'm more excited about like making the certain colorways or collabing with certain brands or whatever it is. I know I definitely got the Chiefs colorway on the way, or PE or something. Maybe we can get Andy Reid to like coach in them at some point or something.
Are you kidding me?
Or we can turn him into a cleat, or we get something like that.
Oh,
but
listen, you're speaking to me now. I'm game. It's so cool because a lot of like you're doing exactly what like I've always dreamed.
You see, companies do not bet on the past, they bet on the future. These investments came as Nike was rebuilding momentum and leaning heavily into athletes who connect with younger audiences. And Caitlin Clark sits right at the center of that strategy. Nike stock had gone through a weak stretch where confidence was shaky, but these insider moves helped steady perception. Markets respond when powerful people show trust with real money. This suggests that Clark's growing influence, her upcoming signature line, and her cultural pull are seen as real drivers of future growth. And when money starts moving this way, it usually means something bigger is coming next. At this point, Caitlin Clark's impact is no longer limited to basketball. She has crossed into something bigger, the way certain athletes do when they become part of everyday culture. You do not have to watch every game to feel her presence. You see it in conversations, in commercials, in what people choose to spend money on.
Yeah, honestly, Nike asked me like kind of what I want to do with some of the Kobe's that I wear throughout the season, and my dog is really important to me. It's my childhood dog that I grew up with. So the shoe was basically all golden, and then obviously the tongue of the shoe was pink for a golden retriever or any dog really. But and then on the sock liner of my shoe was a picture of my dog. A lot of my teammates thought it was like some random graphic I found on the internet, but it was actually my dog.
Even during stretches in 2025, when injuries limited how much she played, her influence did not slow down. Trading cards kept selling. Nike kept building around her. Media attention stayed locked in. In most cases, an athlete disappears when they are off the court. With Clark, the opposite happened. Her absence almost made her presence feel larger. There were moments that showed just how wide her pull is. A preseason exhibition appearance drew enormous attention. Tickets disappeared quickly. National television stepped in. It did not feel like a warm-up game. It felt like an event. People tuned in not because the standings mattered, but because Caitlin Clark was on the floor.
Well, the NBA has been supporting the WNBA. The WNBA has kind of needed the NBA, and I think that that's an okay thing. Like, we should be able to say this aloud, because if now they don't need the NBA, or in the next 5 years they won't need the NBA, then you have this runway to try to like get it back to where the WNBA is owning 100% of their league, but they're not there yet. They're still not there yet. They still had a lot of losses last year because they have the charter flights, they have all these different things. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because I might have been wrong on some of my takes a few months ago about Kathy Engelbert. This capital raise might have been exactly what the W needed at the time. So in March 2022, the Liberty was fined for illicit chartering.
Mainstream media has followed closely. Coaches talk about her impact. Analysts debate her influence. International audiences know her name. This is not a short cycle of attention. It has lasted through college, into the pros, and now into business and culture. Her reach is also transforming the league itself. Other players are benefiting from the spotlight she brings. Merchandise sales shift. Broadcast schedules adjust. Retailers give more shelf space. The way women's basketball is packaged and promoted changes when one player draws this much interest. This is what real market power looks like. It is not just scoring points. It is moving attention, money, and behavior at the same time. If you think 2026 will be Clark's biggest year yet, type explosion in the comments.
Everybody that plays a sport or definitely is a hooper like dreams of having a signature shoe. Like, it is the coolest shit ever. But I remember LeBron came out with his first signature shoe, and it was like he had this Hummer in high school, the notorious Hummer, and he kind of like shaped or like made the shoes kind of resemble a Hummer's like look and model and everything like that. Like, when it comes down to like it being true to you, I can't wait to see exactly what this thing looks like. And you already know I'll be the first one in line to get them.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be cool. And it's crazy because LeBron's on shoe 23 now, which is like crazy to think about how long his signature line has lasted.
When you put all the pieces together, it starts to feel clear. This is not random. Trading cards tell one story. Nike's commitment tells another. Stock market confidence adds a third. Cultural attention ties it all together. All of these signs point to a turning point. 2026 is not just another season on the calendar. It's the moment when the Caitlin Clark effect moves from impressive to permanent. This is when casual interest turns into habit. When people stop checking in out of curiosity and start showing up out of expectation. For the first time, markets, fans, and brands are lined up at the same time. Fans want to watch, brands want to invest, the media wants to amplify. That kind of alignment is rare, and when it happens, it usually changes the shape of a sport. There are predictions that her return to full health, combined with new Nike releases and deeper marketing support, could push viewership and revenue to levels the league has not seen before. But none of this is guaranteed. It depends on execution. It depends on her health. It depends on fans continuing to care. The story is still being written, and what happens next will help define not just her career, but what this moment means for the sport as a whole.
No, it's crazy, and I've gotten all 23 of them.
You don't see like a lot of signature cleats in football, do you really? Like it's not really the same. Like Trav, you wear like your own PEs, like Jordan PEs, right? Don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Shout out to Jordan. I think those fit my game the best just because I grew up in that like Jordan era of like, I kind of like that mid to high top like boot kind of feel, save the ankles, protect the ankles.
Yeah, seriously. No kidding.
Caitlin Clark is not just a great basketball player. That part is already settled. What we are watching now is something broader. Her influence touches collectors who never watched the WNBA before. It reaches investors looking for the next cultural shift. It pulls in brands searching for relevance, and it brings in fans who stay. Two signs make this moment stand out: her complete dominance in the trading card world, and the serious confidence shown by Nike and powerful business leaders backing her future. Those are not opinions. They are measurable signals. All of this suggests that 2026 could be a landmark year, not only for Caitlin Clark, but for how women's sports are valued, marketed, and consumed. In 2026, the Caitlin Clark effect may not just be a story of popularity. It may be the moment women's basketball becomes unavoidable. If you are watching this moment reshape sports, share this video and comment Clark2026 to join the conversation.